After 20 years of researching and studying this stuff, I developed what's called the 6-axis model of influence. There are 6 things you need in any situation, whether it's your kids or you're negotiating in a business deal or trying to win a case in court. There are 6 things you need from other people in order to influence them. The first one is suggestibility. Suggestibility is a very fluid state, but it means how willing a person is to accept and then act on a suggestion or command or piece of information that's given to them. The next one is openness. Openness is the degree of receptiveness that a person has to information and their level of willingness to share information with you. So how open is the person? The next is compliance. And when I say compliance, what I specifically mean is the level a person will go in order to socially comply with something that's suggested, even if it's non-verbally suggested. And we'll talk about this as well in just a bit. Number 4 is focus. Focus was also a big part of the FATE model. And remember, the FATE model happens in order: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. Focus is vital for influence or persuasion, and we'll learn about focus a little bit more. But let me tell you this, our level of focus is governed by several things. But the level of focus in conversation when you're persuading another person has to do with expectancy. And expectancy is the next thing in our 6-axis model. Expectancy means a person can reasonably predict what's going to happen. And it's up to you, once you learn these persuasion skills, how to set up and what to set up for a person's level of expectancy. Finally, we have connection. Connection is the degree of trust and liking that the person has with you. And in these 6 axes of influence, the only thing you need to do is leverage up 3 of them. That's it. So you can pick any 3 things on this chart here and level those 3 things up. So we're moving suggestibility just a little bit past, let's say it's a little football field. I'm leveling up each one of these things past the 50-yard line, past the halfway point on a 1 to 10 scale. So good influence only needs to leverage 3 of these things, and you can pick any 3. Once you have the ability to leverage 4, 5, or 6 of them, your level of compliance with other people or your level of persuasion ability is through the roof. You'll be in the top 1% in the world. So let's talk about Amy. We know that she and us are hyper responsive to what we perceive as an authority in our lives. The second thing that we're hyper responsive to that automatically manufactures focus is something called novelty. If we have an expectation and something stops us from experiencing that expectation, we pay attention. If Amy's walking home from gathering berries or fish all day long, and she passes by the exact same bush every day on the way back to her village or her tribe, but one day she's walking past this bush and a stick snaps behind the bush. That's new. It doesn't happen every day. If a stick broke every time she walked past it, she would eventually build that into her script in her mind of that's a normal thing that happens. This new piece of information, however, the stick breaking, could be a predator, or it could be an animal that she could use as food. So there's threat and value in novelty. Something is new here. I need to pay attention to it, is what the lower part of our brain says. We don't really have a say in where our brain's attention goes in instances like this. So when something or a word or a phrase or a behavior deviates from what a person expects, we generate a very high amount of focus for a short amount of time. And we can capitalize on that focus by leveraging up something else like connection, openness, or suggestibility. Novelty hacks its way into our focus instantaneously. And that works because our ancestors needed to live.